Why would you want an offshore bank account? Why would you want a bank account in another country, which is all that offshore means? I'll give you one reason, one very important and significant reason. If you can cast your mind back to what happened in Cyprus of recent times, where due to economic mismanagement on the part of the government and due to indebtedness, the government, under the instructions of the EU, made a policy to literally steal the funds of its depositors in order to uh, contribute, in their words, towards the financial stability of the bank. So one day they had their money in the bank, and the next day, half of it or more was gone. Um, they targeted people with 100,000 or more, and this wasn't just people, Cypriots, who suffered from this. A lot of people from the UK who retired there had retirement savings, and that money was gone. Now, since then, much of this legislation that labelled this has been copied in different parts of the world um, as a way of preparing for the possibility of something similar happening in such countries. In other words, when you bank domestically, your funds are in greater danger than if you bank in a more sound financial jurisdiction somewhere else. And I'm particularly talking about people living in the Western democratic countries whose economies are in a bad shape and whose banking industry is still very unsound. So, in the old days, of course, an offshore bank account was looked at upon as something for privacy, something for hiding your money. But the primary purpose today, I believe, is to put your money somewhere where it is considerably safer than where you have it currently. And if you've got your money in any of the Western banks, Western countries' banks, I would suggest to you that your money could be forfeited in the same way that Cypriots' money has been. And therefore, you owe it to yourself to look at the options available to you for opening a bank account in another country, an offshore bank account. Now, I have been involved in offshore banking myself personally since 1998. I have several offshore accounts. It is something which I find very natural, very easy, and certainly nothing to be concerned about or something to be afraid of. In fact, I feel much safer with my money in such banks than, say, keeping it at home. As a result of my experience, I have written a couple of reports, the 10 things you must know before opening an offshore bank account, and another one called the ideal offshore bank account, in which I give my personal recommendations about the type of jurisdiction, the type of country that you should consider banking in, and the types of services available to you. But certainly in this modern day age, you can bank with an overseas bank just as easily as you can bank with a local one because of internet banking and all the modern ways that you can get access to your funds through cards, through wire transfers, and so forth. So have a read of the page below, which outlines what my reports are about, and seriously consider getting an offshore bank account for yourself as a method of protecting yourself, as a form of insurance, really, against anything going wrong in your own country with regards to bank accounts and banking regulations there. Um, I urge you to take this very seriously. It's a very strong, very important matter, and you'll find my reports give you plenty of information to go on, including my personal recommendations. So um, go ahead, have a read, and by all means, order my reports because I believe you will benefit from it. Thanks for listening.